Hey everyone, and welcome back to Serena's Toy Room. So today I'm going to do my Q&A video. I would have done it a few days sooner, but every time I remembered that I had to do it, it was nighttime and I wanted to film during the day so the lighting could be a bit better. Let's get started. I'm going to start with some Instagram questions because there's not as many on there. Kristen asked, what's your favorite artist at the moment? My favorite at the moment is probably an artist called Haunt Me. I've been really into them. They're like in my top artists of the year. They actually just a few days ago surpassed Madonna in second place in my top 15, which is crazy because I listen to Madonna like all the time. So that just tells you how much I've been streaming. They're really good. I definitely recommend them. I'll throw up a few like other artists I've been really into lately. I'm always down to give like music recommendations because music is like one of my favorite things in the world. It really like helps me through things. 6Gaddy9 asked, is your pussy green?
Oh, bitch, you got me fucked up. Bitch, I mean, oh shit, bitch.
My good sis, justspamthings.ig asks, where is Rolling Meadows High? Girl, it's coming. Like, probably it won't come this month because I'm really busy this month for like Christmas and I still have shit to put away. So it'd probably be sometime in January, here's hoping. They also asked favorite YouTubers and doll friends. Of course, I gotta give a shout out to my girl. Just Doll Things. That's like their spam account, but their like actual account is Just Doll Things. Christian, who we saw before, I consider like a friend. It's always nice seeing them on the feed. Stellar Dolls is my good sis, BFF. You'll see them in like a moment. They ask some questions as well. There's a few people on Instagram that I like talk to every now and then, but like I wouldn't say we're like friends. No shade, like we're kind of like acquaintances, but like we don't talk that often to be deemed friends. I don't really talk to a lot of people in the doll community, truthfully. As for my favorite YouTubers, I'm like subscribed to some people, but like I don't know if I would say they're like my favorite. I actually like don't even know. I like Dead Meat. I've been watching them for a few years. Drew and Enya, Emergency Intercom, that's like my favorite podcast ever. Love them. They're like so funny and they're like, their sense of humor is like literally like mine almost. So like they're like the funniest people ever. They also asked my favorite doll show. I don't know if they mean of mine or of the entirety of DollTube. Your series is really good. As for other people, I don't know if I've watched that many. Watermelon 813, she's like an icon to me. She was actually the inspiration for Rolling Meadows High. Her series Set Off. I even named like Ashton after one of her characters. I don't know if it was from Set Off or one of her other shows, but like she is like a huge inspiration to me. Love her videos. Love Brat's Feline Divine. She's an icon. Girl, we need to bring back doll shows for real. Funkin' Brats asked my opinions on the doll market today. I could go on about this for like forever, I feel like, but to keep it brief, I feel like we went through like a really good renaissance in like 2019 and so on when OMG and Rainbow High came out. Like when they came out, like, so many dolls were like kind of, not necessarily copying, but like kind of, it's like what doll brands do naturally. Like they see what's popular at the moment and they kind of try to do their own spin on that. And like it was really good for a while, but now I feel like it's kind of like slowed down. OMG, like no one really like talks about them anymore. Rainbow High, ever since that soft reboot, no one really gives a fuck. I feel like the only good doll on the market right now, I don't know if this is a like hot take or whatever, is Monster High. At least for me, like brats are like not on store shelves. I know they are sometimes in America, but in Canada, like they were like when the 20th anniversary first edition dolls came out, and then like ever since then they're like not really. We have Bratz babies, but like I don't really care about that as I have a Bratz baby. But like I don't actively collect them. I only get them if I find them at the thrift store, but even then like not really a thing that I'm into. It's kind of like boring now. I mean, Barbie's like, she's like a permanent resident in the Kia Asylum. Like every one good doll that Barbie does, there's like 200 terrible ones. Like I don't imagine she's gonna be getting much better anytime soon, even with the new Odile face. Even if it were to become like the new standard Barbie face replacing Millie, the outfits are still trash. So like, there's not much to be excited about. Monster High. I love G3 Monster High. Not all the dolls are my favorite. I don't buy every single one, but like They're like the only dolls out right now that I actively buy. Bratz. Their reproductions are like fine, I guess, if you don't have them. I have like most of the originals when they do reproductions, so I don't really feel the need to buy them. So it's good for like new collectors that can't afford the crazy secondhand prices, or if they just don't have them. But for me, like, I don't really care. As for like the new releases, like Always Bratz and the new Going Out line, I believe it's called, they're not that great to me. I feel like they'd be better if they had second outfits, and I feel like they're so expensive for what they are in Canada at least. I would like to get Always Bratz Jade eventually, even though her outfit altogether is really ugly. Pieces separately are really cute, and I feel like I could do something with them. The doll market right now is like not that hot, especially for like collector dolls and stuff. Like, y'all know the bullshit that went down with the Mean Girls drop, and of course the Sculptor. I'm so tired of the sculpting, I don't even try to like buy them when they drop. And I don't think like MGA or Mattel really care about scalpers anyway, as long as they're making their money, which is really unfortunate. So yeah, I feel like we were doing really well for a second there, but now I feel like we're kind of slowing down a little bit. I really wish Bratz would pump out a bunch of like lines and like have them in stores and stuff, because I feel like that's what made Bratz really popular in the first place back in the day. Like, there were so many dolls to choose from. They like had their own aisle right next to Barbie. Kids would be like, oh, what is this like brand new thing? Like, obviously you're not going to want to buy something if it's not in stores. Like, you can buy from Amazon all you want, but the real matter of the fact is these are meant for children. And if children aren't seeing them in stores, then how are the parents supposed to buy them? If that makes sense. The reproductions are nice, but I feel like they should try to do some new things now. That's kind of like pissed me off, if I'm being honest. Like, their social media, it's like so, like, if you follow them, you know what I mean. Like, it's so corny. Rubber T asked, what is your favorite series to film? Probably Rolling Meadows High, personally. I mean, come on now. I like have such an attachment to these characters that sometimes it almost feels like they're real to me, if that makes sense. Arian's asked, what are my favorite dolls in my collection? Of course I love all my dolls, but I have come to the conclusion that my favorite doll is Cora Draculaura. I just love her so much. Anytime I see her, I'm just like, oh my god, like, that's my good sis, like, and I'm so tempted, even though, like, I have the first one and then the pre-production, and I have another pre-production on the way that I wanted to keep in box, but like she's been like lost in the mail for like forever, so I don't know if that bitch is even coming. But like, even though I technically have like 3, every time I see her I'm like, oh my god, I want another one so bad. Like, she's so gorgeous, like I love her down. Like, I don't know what it is about her, I just love her. She's so like nostalgic. I love the like first 3 or so waves of core Monster High dolls, as well as the school's outline. I feel like the best years of Monster High were 2010 to 2012. 2013 had some cute girlies too, but anywhere past then, like, it really starts to go downhill for me. But that like little small window of Monster High is like peak to me. I love it so much. It was so well done. I really loved my Pretty and Punk Bratz and my Midnight Dance Megan. I simply must mention this Shadow High Demi doll that my good sis Stellar Dolls gave me last Christmas, and she is the most beautiful thing ever, and I love her so much. Oh, and of course, that Collector Draculaura, the tall one that kind of looks like Victorian. Like, she's one of the most beautiful dolls of all time. Like, I could look at her for hours. She's literally a masterpiece. And Nika Dolls 15 asked, how do you come up with ideas for your horror movies? And how is the filmmaking process? All the ideas have come from either books or movies that I've watched or consumed. A lot of the standalone films have come from like Fear Street books or point horror books from like the 90s, older movies and things. Like, obviously, like, ones like Halloween are based on the movie Halloween. The filmmaking process is really fun. They never turn out like I imagined them to. Like, every time like I want to make something, I always have this grand idea in my head, but like the execution is not great. Obviously, like, acting with dolls is a little bit more difficult than acting with people because they have like one static face the entire time. You can't really do like face acting, so you really have to like try your best, I guess, if that makes sense. And I'm no Meryl Streep, so like my acting is not that amazing either, so I really have to try my best. I can't really like scream, so I always have to like insert like a stock sound effect, and it sounds like so like jarring and out of place, but like I cannot scream for the life of me. Like, I don't know what it is. I'm just a very quiet person, I guess. My good sis, Stellar Dolls Extra, asked, Squirt Squad or Cream Teen? They also asked, would you ever consider making a new pony series? I don't think so. I think that era is like long gone. I've considered privating that series like so many times because like, girl. But I'm gonna keep it up, like it's fine. I've definitely done worse shows before. We'll get to that in a little bit, but I don't think I would ever do a new one. Cringiest series. The Unholy 3 doll shows of mine are currently privated, and y'all are never going to see them ever again. Bratz World, which was my Bratz series from like way back in the day, real ones will remember. Barbie's Dream World, which was kind of like a Barbie version of that, I guess. And then High School Romance, The Girl of My Dreams, which was like the Doki Doki Literature Club series from Temu. Those three are all awful, but I feel like the worst of them was High School Romance, because like she wanted to be Doki Doki Literature Club so bad, but like she had no sauce. She was so shit. And I cannot watch that series without literally wanting to rip my eyes out. It's so bad. Favorite series besides Rolling Meadows High and Dark Falls? I would say Sweet Valley High. I have such fond memories attached to that show. I started, I believe, in 2019, and then I stopped for a while, but then when COVID hit and I had nothing better to do with my time, I really just put all my time and effort into that show. I made sets from scratch. I was giving my Froggy stuff. I like built like a house, like a diner. I made like so much shit. I was reading so much Sweet Valley High books at the time, and I really thought like, bro, this series would eat as a doll show, okay? I felt like it did. Like, watching it back now, like, it's not as great as it could be. Like, at the time, like, it was like, I was so passionate about it. I was really passionate about these characters. Obviously because they were part of, like, a greater book series. So I felt like I kind of knew them already, and I was kind of doing my own spin on them. Sasha's Doll Shelf asked, what is the ugliest fashion doll in your opinion? And there are a lot of Kias out there, but the one that always comes to mind when I think of the ugliest is Boxy Girls. Ew! Those bitches are so hideous. Like, I cannot. Dishonorable mention to my homegirl Dusty, but she's camp. Like, I unironically really want one because she's so funny looking, and I feel like her and Hilda would get along really well. Vamps Domain asked, what's your favorite childhood doll and what's your favorite doll now? I didn't have many dolls as a child. I wasn't allowed to have dolls. I was allowed boy dolls, so my grandma, I would go to the Zellers with her and I would look at the brats. I really wanted the girls and she said, no, we'll compromise, we'll get you the boys. Growing up, I remember I had Formal Fun Kobe, Tokyo Go-Go Eaton, and Sunkissed Summer Eaton. I also have this really obscure memory of being in the McDonald's at the Walmart as a kid, and I think I had one of the Wildlife Safari boys because I remember the handle so vividly, but I can't remember which doll it was. And I remember like my great-grandmother from Portugal like came down at the time, and like when she came to sit with us, she was like saying in Portuguese like, oh, why are you getting them a doll, like that's for girls? And my grandma responded in English like, no, because it clearly says Bratz Boys, like hello. My grandma probably would have gotten me girl dolls, but she didn't want like my mom to be mad at her for getting me girls, so she would compromise and only get me boys. I have two of the three. I really want to get Sunkissed Summer Eaton like complete because I have like distinct memories of going through my toy box and like seeing his surfboard and his shoes and stuff like that, and I really want to have like all his stuff so I could like you know what I mean. But yeah, I also had like Max Steel dolls. I feel like I wasn't really like into all that. I wanted the fashion dolls. I wanted the fashion dolls, girl. And I guess this still counts because I'm still a child at this point. I was like 12, 13. I had Gloom Beach Jackson Jackal, who I got at Zellers. He was my first Monster High doll back in the day, and that was like the best day of my life. My cousin had like so many Monster High dolls. She had like all the first waves. Nephra, she had Operetta, she had like all like the good ones, and I was so envious. I was such a huge Monster High fan. I was like a bigger fan than she was, and I deserved them more than she did. And I really wanted Monster High dolls, but even then, like I wasn't really allowed to have them. So my grandma compromised and let me have Jackson, and it was great. My first doll in my collection that I have now, because all the dolls that I had growing up I no longer have, but the first doll in my collection that I have now is Fashionistas Wave 2, I believe, Artsy. Here she is now, all these years later. Girl, we've been through some things. please ignore my nails. Oh my god, I was dyeing doll clothes last night and it's like stained my hands. But yeah, her arms are really loosey-goosey and the Velcro on her dress doesn't really work as much. Fun fact, because she's a swap and styles doll and like the heads could come off as so to swap with other heads. When I had like a small collection of Monster High dolls back in the day, I used to pretend she was the headless headmistress Bloodgood. And I would have her holding her head like this and like have her talking to the Monster High dolls pretending to be the headmistress, which I think is really cute and hilarious. Her and Jackson were like my only dolls for like the longest time. I don't have that Jackson anymore. I got him again later on, but I don't have that specific one anymore. And every morning before school, I would wake them up and get them ready for the day and like sit them, I like had them in like a little box underneath my bed because I wanted to hide them from my mom. Wake them up out of their like little homemade bed. I would get them dressed. I would have them sit on the couch and wait for me until I got home, and then at the end of the day I would like undress them and like put them in like little homemade pajamas that I probably made out of like tissue or something, and then I tucked them in. It was really sweet. As for my favorite dolls now, like I said, my first wave Monster High dolls, specifically Draculaura and the collector Draculaura and the Victorian Draculaura. All of them, all those ones that I said earlier. The Barbie collector asked, how long have you been collecting dolls for? My interest peaked when I was 12. I've always kind of like had like a thing for dolls, even when I was younger than that. I remember back when like the Sears catalogs used to come in the mail, like I remember seeing like Wizard of Oz Barbie collector dolls and I was circling those. Like I really wanted dolls. So that started getting a few dolls when I was 13, but I wouldn't say that I started becoming officially a collector until I was about 15. And like I would get a few dolls here and there if I had some money given to me by my family, but once I started getting my like adult money, like that's when my collection really kicked off and I started getting a lot. Because as a teenager you don't have as much money, but as an adult you have that adult money and you can buy whatever you want, bro. The Barbie Collector 2000 asked if I'll ever make Barbie horror movies again. I guess as like someone that makes things, like it's common for you to criticize your own work when other people tend to like it. I would like to make some more in the future, I think. Like I have a few ideas. I actually was going to make one like a few months ago. Like I got the dolls ready and everything, but then when it came down to filming it, like I just kept putting it off until I canceled it. I don't know when I'm going to do them though, so we'll just have to stay tuned, I guess. Deuce Gorgon 2002 asked if Cody and Lydia would ever end up together. Quite the random pairing, must I say. I don't believe they've had much of an interaction in the show, and the one interaction that I can recall, Lydia like unintentionally like outs him to the whole school and like he hates her guts. So no, I don't imagine they would end up together, but I appreciate your enthusiasm. Suburban House asked if I would make a Bratz horror movie. For some reason, anytime I've done like something horror related, I've always done Barbie. I've never considered doing like a Bratz one before, but maybe, we'll see. Never say never. Barbie Dreamy asked, will Rolling Meadows High ever come back? It would be the main cast last year. The episodes have become like so, like even more and more like far in between each other. But like I honestly don't remember the timeline anymore. Because what it's supposed to be, the series started off in 2003. And then like every season would be like a new school year. I don't even know like what year or what time it would be in the show anymore. Because it's been that long. I think it's 2005. Girl, I have to rewatch that show before I make more episodes because I do not remember. So the fourth season would be their final year for the first season cast, and then for the second season cast it would be like their junior year. Confusion. Like I said, I'll probably make more episodes in January when I have time and space to do so. Sprinkles 11 asked, what do you think is the best and worst Barbie release this year? I'll be honest, I don't really keep up with Barbie releases all that much. Honestly, most of them are kind of having a mid-off. I do really love that Barbie with the ideal face that's kind of wearing like a Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend-esque pink satin gown. I don't know the name of it, but she's so beautiful. I'd probably say she's the best one. As for the worst, like probably like all the others, to be honest. Deuce Gorgon 2002 asked, will Austin Redford get a redemption? Girl, if you know, you know. But Austin is like the killer. I don't think there's any redeeming what he did to Heather. What he did to Heather is kind of like unforgivable, obviously, but he will get his comeuppance eventually. You'll just have to see. Y9 Danny asked, do I have the whole Disney princess lineup and will I ever do a face reveal? I had most of the princesses. Like, a lot of the later ones are kind of Kias in my opinion, like Raya and Moana. Like, I do not fuck with them, especially Moana. She can choke. Like, have such a personal vendetta against her for some reason. I really just can't stand her. Merida, she's like, I don't care about her either. I do have one Merida doll that I got from Disney when I went my first and only time at Disney World in 2013. It was like the Brave movie version, and I have her, but I never had an urge to get another Merida doll. I have all the princesses from Snow White to Rapunzel, and then I have Anna and Elsa as well. And those are like the only princesses I consider. But yeah, I have most of the princesses, but not technically all of them. As for a face reveal, I don't know, girl. I mean, if you really wanted to see my face, like, it's not that difficult to find. You could probably find it really easily if you really looked for it, but I don't know if I would ever, like, freely do it. Because people on the internet are real mean, girl. Like, I don't want to be roasted online, girl. You know? But if you're ever wondering what I look like, I basically look like this. Kristen asks, what music artists have you been listening to? Opinions on Bratz and Rainbow High this past year, and do I like Barbie's new face mold? I listed off a few in the beginning, but here, just for shits, is my top 15 artists on Apple Music. Actually, what I've been considering doing, like, in every new video like this is having, like, a song recommendation at the end of the video. If you guys would be interested in that, let me know, but I'd totally be down. At the end of, like, every video, I'd be like, my song of the day is blank. Would you guys be down? It doesn't necessarily have to be like a goth song. It's just like whatever song I've been feeling at the moment in general. So yeah, let me know, please. My opinions on Bratz and Rainbow High, I kind of already said, but Bratz, they're fine, I guess. As for Rainbow High, they're in the Kia Asylum, I fear. They joined Barbie. They joined OMG. Girl, it's over. I do not care about them anymore. It's so over for them, like, truly. As for my opinion on the new Barbie face, I really hope Odile becomes the new Millie, because Millie is so tacky, tired, and played out and over her, as I'm sure everyone is. And she's really beautiful. Kayfine asked if I would ever do a darker series like Rolling Meadows High again. Actually, the new series I have in mind, which I guess we'll talk about a little later because someone asked, is kind of similar to Rolling Meadows High. I love doing like teen dramas. I know like most doll series are kind of teen dramas, I guess, but like, girl, I love it. Like, how can you not say cunt? Like, that's cunt. Like, you know? And I really love how Rolling Meadows High has like allowed me to expand my horizons a little more and push some envelopes. I was really scared to do some things with Rolling Meadows High because prior to that series I've been like really, like, for the most part, kid friendly. I feel like Fatal Secrets was like the first time I tried some new things, but with Rolling Meadows High especially, I pushed the envelope a little more. I was really scared to like curse in videos and do more mature subjects because I've been like child friendly for so long, but people seem to welcome it with open arms, and that was really nice. I'd really like to do more stuff like that and kind of keep it as the standard. Lunar Puna asked, what would I rank my series based on my personal best? And who would I pick for a future My Little Pony lineup? I'll do that one first. I feel like, personally, My Little Pony should go back to just having random characters in every line, like G1 and G3. Like, I feel like that was really cool. Like, I love having a bunch of new characters and stuff, and like every line having like a new one. I feel like G4 kind of like popularized like having like a main cast of characters and stuff. Well, actually the second half of G3 did. And I feel like that was kind of like G3's downfall a little bit, to be honest. Like, as cute as those ones are, like, I really loved having like all these new characters and like new poses and stuff. When they introduced like the core 7, like they all had like the standard like static pose, and it was just kind of like boring to me personally. Like, I'm not really interested in that specific era of G3. And for G4, obviously we have the main 6. Like 95% of G4 is like main 6 everywhere, and I'm so not interested. I want multiple pony characters, and I want tons of ponies to collect and choose from. I feel like that was the fun of G3 and G1 and all that. And I really feel like we should do that. But I know for marketability reasons, like, they're not going to do that again. Obviously kids can relate and be more drawn to align, if they have characters with like certain characteristics and names and all that. So they're probably not going to do that again, unfortunately. As for ranking my series, girl, hold on, because I need to write this down because I have quite a few. Okay, I'm back and I've done a list of my definitive ranking of my doll shows, not including my standalone films because those are their own thing, from worst to best. My number one worst show, as we established, is High School Romance, the girl of my dreams. We've been over why it's dog shit, it's horrible, gutted, rotted. Next, Barbie's Dream World. She is like a hair away from being just as bad as High School Romance, but I feel like she had some decent elements, I suppose. She really had an identity crisis because I wasn't sure what the hell that show was supposed to be. Like, sometimes it was like a satire on Barbie and like the brand as a whole. Sometimes like it was like a Brady Bunch dupe, because I was really into the Brady Bunch at that time, so I kind of incorporated the Brady Bunch into that show, and it was so awful. Yeah, that show was fucking horrible, and you'll never seeing it ever again. Bratz World is next. That show's pretty ass as well. Especially the first season, because that show is one of my like longest running shows. It went on for like 3 years or so. It started in like 2013 or something, and it was really bad, low quality, and I obviously didn't know what I was doing because that was like my first real doll show. I actually had like a predecessor version of Bratz World that I made even further back in like 2012 or even like 2011, which are like long deleted. And those were even worse. I remember like I didn't even know how to edit, so anytime I wanted to like switch over to another scene, I would like cover the camera and rearrange the dolls and like set them up for the next scene, and it would just be like silence for like a good minute or so. See, the first season of Bratz World is like really bad, but like I feel like the later episodes are kind of decent. Still not that great though. The next one I'll consider a series just for shits. 25 Days of Christmas with Serena and Glitzy, which was like basically like my Vlogmas a couple years ago. And every day I would post like a new video, and no one fucking watched it. Y'all hate me so bad, that's fine. I gave that Glitzy to Oomph last Christmas, so I don't no longer have Glitzy, my reindeer Beanie Boo. But he is in good hands, trust and believe. I was considering doing another one. Obviously this year I can't because I am busy, but next year maybe. If you guys promise you'll fucking watch it this time, that'd be great. I think like the biggest issue I had with that, I like quickly ran out of things to do every day for 25 days, so like I had no idea what to do. So I'd really have to like plan every day out if I wanted to do that again. Next is Real Princesses of Disney, not to be confused with Disney's Next Top Princess. Those are different shows. Real Princesses of Disney, she ate a little bit, but the first 3 episodes are really rough because they were like in my in the basement of my old house before I got my room done. So like it looks really like nasty and disgusting. I look like I'm in a fucking dungeon. I really feel like both of the princess shows would be really good if I like did them now, and I was better at editing and stuff like that. I feel like the jokes could have been executed a lot better. I like missed the mark on a lot on those shows, but you guys seem to really like them, so that's fun. Now we're kind of getting into like the okay shows, like we're in the middle of the ranking. Next is The Great Batman Adventures, which is my original Batman series in like 2016-17. She is fine for her time. A lot of people seem to really like that era. It is very nostalgic. That was kind of like my peak on YouTube. Like I got like my most views around that time. My most popular videos on YouTube are my DC videos from that time, but they're not that great, let's be honest. Like if you watch them back now, they're really cringe. And my knowledge of Batman wasn't that great, so it was really like surface level like stuff that I learned from watching like shows and movies and stuff. Next one is the original Dark Falls. For those that don't know, I had like an original Dark Falls from like 2016, which was the predecessor for Dark Falls New Blood, my new show. I feel like I kind of missed the mark on that show too, and it ended like so abruptly because I wanted it to be over with by that point. It's basically like a retelling of The Craft, but like really shitty. And I would like to remake it someday because I feel like it has a lot of potential to be really good. But I just didn't have that oomph back then, I guess. Next is Girl Talk with Hilda. That show is like neither good nor bad. It's Hilda. It was basically like her Wendy Williams show. And as I was writing this ranking down, I was kind of considering, girlie, should we bring back Girl Talk with Hilda? But like instead of like a talk show, it should be like new doll releases and like my opinions on them, but like talking through Hilda. I feel like that'd be kind of slay, but we'll see. Batman Adventures in Gotham is the next one, which is my newer Batman series from a couple years ago. That series is just okay. I feel like it would have been better if it ran a little longer and it had time to flow, but it ended so abruptly because I kind of just did not care about it anymore. It was supposed to be like the sister series to Teen Titans. It was like supposed to be in the same universe and everything. It didn't really go anywhere and it kind of ended before it really got good, I feel like. Next is My Little Pony and Friends. The series is harmless, it's cringe, but she's cute or whatever. Then we have Disney's Next Top Princess. Again, I feel like this series would be a lot better if I made it now as opposed to back then. I feel like a lot of the jokes and moments could have been executed a lot better. Our top 6. Number 6 best is Teen Titans. I really loved that show and I loved making it at the time. I really hate that I had to re-upload the first couple of episodes because the fucking intro got copyrighted and blocked. So all the views that I had on the original videos are gone and they don't have as many views as they used to, which is so annoying. Top 5. So number 5 is Monster High Diaries, which was fun. I feel like it was really good at the start, but then later on, like, it kind of had a bit of an identity crisis. I was just like doing whatever with that show. It also didn't last as long as I thought it did. I thought it lasted a lot longer, but it only had like a handful of episodes if you look at it. Number 4 is Sweet Valley High. Number 4 and 3 are kind of interchangeable. I feel like it kind of depends on the day which one I like more, but for now, number 4 is Sweet Valley High. I really love that show and we talked about it earlier. Number 3 is Fatal Secrets, which I had so much fun with making. Season 2 kind of flopped, I feel like, because at the time I was really in a rush to finish it so I could work on Rolling Meadows High, but looking back, I really wish I took my time and I put as much time and care into the second season as I did in the first one so it could be executed properly. But the first season was really good and I really liked it. Number 2 is Dark Falls New Blood. I love that show so much. At one point I even considered liking it even more than Rolling Meadows High, but I don't think anyone is gonna touch the girl. Like, she's the doll. Bitch, you can't read the doll. Like, obviously Rolling Meadows High is number 1, like, come on now. But Dark Falls New Blood is number 2, only by a little bit. Like, the idea I have of Dark Falls in my head is so much better than what it actually is in execution, because unfortunately I can only do so much. I know my froggy stuff. I don't have the ability to make these really sick sets that I have in my mind. A lot of the time, like, the sets don't look that great. In my mind, Dark Falls is like this dreary, like, gothic setting. The school, it's called Dark Falls Academy, so like it looks like an old gothic chapel almost. It's always foggy and it's always gray and dreary, but that's what it looks like in my mind and it looks so sick. In execution, it looks like ass. I'm really hoping to make some more Dark Falls spin-offs, and hopefully when I get around to those, like, the sets will be a little bit better. Obviously Rolling Meadows High is number 1, like we said. That's my girl, that's my baby, I love her so much. Pacific1297 asked, how is it making DC videos? It was a lot of fun at the time, but looking back now, like, they aren't that great. My knowledge of Batman and just DC as a whole back then was really just like what I've watched in movies and like the animated series and stuff. I do know quite a bit more about him now. If I like made it now, I feel like it'd be a bit better. I really had a lot of fun making Teen Titans, especially. I feel like I learned a lot about making videos through Teen Titans, like in terms of like editing and stuff like that. So that was a lot of fun. And I liked how the story was going. Too bad it ended early. Violet Lover asked, where do I get my Barbies from? I get like a majority of my Barbies specifically from the thrift stores. Like most of them are from the thrift stores or even on eBay. Like most of them are secondhand because I don't really care for modern Barbie. I've only gotten like a handful of Barbies like the past couple of years. Specifically like the movie dolls, or maybe there's like one odd doll that I kind of like, but for the most part I get them secondhand, whether that's at the thrift store or eBay or whatever. Barbie Dreamy asked, favorite movie or TV at the moment, favorite dolls to collect now, and will I ever do a doll collection video. My favorite movie of all time is Halloween, the original from 1978. I just love that movie and it's so nostalgic. I've been like a huge fan of it since I was 10. My favorite TV show, I'm not as much of a TV girly as I am of movies. Like, I'm kind of notorious for starting a show and then like never finishing it. So I really do love South Park. That's probably my favorite show. Especially like the older seasons. I feel like they're a lot funnier personally. My favorite dolls to collect at the moment are Monster High. Those are kind of the only dolls that I like actively buy still. I'm kind of satisfied with my Barbie collection. Bratz are too expensive to actively collect anymore. All like the really good ones that I want are hella expensive, and I don't imagine I'll be getting them anytime soon for a decent price. And all the ones that are in stores right now are either reproductions of dolls that I have, dolls that I do not want to spend that much on, or Kias. And as for a doll collection video, I used to do them every year on New Year's Day as like a little update on how much my collection has grown, but I feel like I have way too many now to do that every year, so it would have to be like separated by collection. So I guess we'll see. I do want to do like an updated version of my Bratz collection because I did that a few years ago. And I definitely want to do an updated version of my Monster High collection. We'll do that eventually. Dolly Universe 1235 asked thoughts on Kate Moss and who's my favorite supermodel and who's my favorite artist at the moment. I don't really like keep in touch with like models or anything like that, to be honest. I love fashion, but I don't keep in touch with like that part of fashion, if that makes sense. Like, I really love like more street fashion. Unfortunately, I don't really have an answer to your question. But as for my favorite artist, my favorite at the moment is Haunt Me. MLP Rarity Brownie asked, favorite Bratz character, favorite Monster High character, any pets, how long I've been collecting, favorite color, and favorite Bratz doll. Favorite Bratz character is Jade. Favorite from Monster High is Draculaura. She's my comfort character. Any pets? We used to have 2 French bulldogs. How long I've been collecting? Since I was 12, technically. Favorite color is pink, but I also love black. Favorite Bratz doll? That's like an impossible question, because like, there's like so many good ones. Yeah, I don't think I can answer that question. Wine9 Danny also asked if I'm planning on getting any of the Wicked dolls. I would like to if they were in stores and readily available. Ever since that whole controversy dropped, they've kind of been harder to find. Like, idiots are like selling them for like $800 online. Like, get a life. They have like the Oz Dust Glinda at Walmart, but I don't want her. If I were to get one, I would either get big poofy dress Glinda or like one of the Elphabas. I feel like her outfits would be nice for restyles as well. Or even like one of the singing dolls because it's popular in Defying Gravity, or Bwops. Proper Bwops babes. Blonde But Sorry asked, what are my ideas for new series and videos? In my last video I mentioned I have an idea for a new series, and the series in question would be a new Monster High series, but with G3 dolls this time. If I were to like throw this idea out in like a pitch meeting, it'd be like Monster High Diaries meets Rolling Meadows High. It's like a mix between the two, essentially. I had an idea for like a more teen drama based Monster High series for a while now, but I never went further than just an idea. But I feel like it would be really interesting this time around. I have a lot of ideas. I think I'm actually gonna do it because I have bought a few things for this series, so it's kind of like, girl, why not? And a lot of people seem to like the original Monster High Diaries, so I think like a new Monster High series is needed, especially an updated one, because like I feel like I could do a lot better this time. It would be in my own continuity and not the canon established in the G3 series, because I don't really love everything that they're doing with the canon in the new show. It would take a lot more inspiration from G1, truthfully. It'd be kind of like similar to X-Men in how the humans are prejudiced towards the mutants and they would try to eliminate them at any chance, when the mutants, or the monsters in this case, are actually the good guys. They just look a little different. For character traits, I feel like Jackie Laura would be like the rich Nepo baby that thinks she's better than everyone because her dad is the most famous monster of all, Dracula. So she'd be the type to be like, well, who do you think you're talking to? I'm like literally the daughter of Dracula. So like, and Laguna would be like the one girl that thinks she's in the friend group, but really she's like, none of them like her. She's kind of like Butters. Um, it'd be like from Frankie's point of view, so they would be like the main character. I feel like Cleo would be the biatch. I like a more villainous Cleo, truthfully. Yeah, I have so many ideas. I feel like it'd be a lot of fun. Let me know if that would be of interest to you guys. Genie Magic asked if I would ever remake Fatal Secrets. I don't know if I will. I do know they made a new Pretty Little Liars spinoff called Original Sin, which is basically a more horror-based Pretty Little Liars show. And I was like, damn, you can tell they low-key wanted my nachos, because like that's what Fatal Secrets was. It was like Pretty Little Liars, but with like a horror twist. And that show came out before Original Sin, so like, damn, they want to pay me so bad, it's crazy. Like, at least give me some credit, like, you know what I mean? I don't know if I would ever remake it. I feel like it's fine as is. As I was editing the last little bit of this video, I got one more comment on the original video. So, SangsPie029, you're very lucky you got it in last minute. And they asked, will Cody ever get his happy ever after? I don't want to give too much away. You'll just have to see how things turn out for Cody Phillips. But yeah, I think chances are things will turn out for him. He's had his redemption arc. He wasn't the greatest guy in the first season, but now I feel like he's turned around for the better, and who knows what'll happen. I guess we'll have to see. So yeah, that is all your questions. This video is probably like so long because I love to yap and I love to give detailed answers to questions. So I apologize for that. But if you made it this long, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video. Comment, like, subscribe. Bye guys.